Hello and welcome to everybody joining the channel today. We are visiting one of the most ancient sites on planet Earth. It is 4,500 years old and I got this flight from Heathrow Airport. It was a very smooth flight all the way to Cairo International. And it was a very, very smooth trip. We landed there, no problems apart from when you go out to get a taxi, you get haggled a little bit, but you can get an Uber, it's no problem. And what a beautiful sunset drive we had. As we got closer to the hotel, we could see the pyramids in sight. It was fantastic. And we realized we could see them from the Marriott where we were staying. The next day we woke up nice and early, we got a private tour guide and went straight to the pyramids.
Now look at that. I know we've all seen pictures of it, but that's pretty incredible. I mean, it's actually a lot bigger than I thought. It's sort of what you expect to see, but absolutely incredible. And they've got the entrance just there in the middle. And we're about to learn a lot from this private tour guide who seems lovely. But we've been warned that we can get haggled here and people will take photos and people will take things from you or give you stuff and then charge you afterwards and say it's free. So can't wait for those encounters, but I'm here for the pyramids, not that, and not to start beefing some random Egyptians.
Now the sheer size of these blocks are just impressive and the way they are organized is even more impressive, but it is very narrow and you have to be careful getting up here. So do take caution when going up. Now, in all honesty, I was expecting some intricate interior design for the pyramids, but there is only one route that we can take and I'll show you it now. 4,500 years. Crazy. Oh, I've got a duck. I've got to watch my head in here, mate. Oh my goodness. Pyramids weren't built for tall people, clearly. I reckon this is about 5 foot tall, this entire thing. It's incredible. I've got all these people queuing up here, so we're a little bit jammed into a traffic jam. But yeah, it's pretty cool. The lighting's not great, but amazing. Now, the alleged reason that we're allowed in this areas and not other areas of the interior is because the moisture of human breath and our body presence can affect the pyramids negatively. This is hard work. I'm glad I got my Apple Watch on, I can get my steps in. We're here, we got up there. Took a while. Full on sweaty. Oh my God. So there's a tomb in front of me, but I'm gonna try and work out what this is now. Here is a tomb, but there's no details like labeled around the pyramids, so I'm not sure if this is Tutankhamun's. As you can see here, you literally have to get on your hands and knees to get back down, and it's a one-way system, which is pretty silly considering this is a major tourism site, but nonetheless, it was cool. That wasn't easy. If you are a dwarf, this is the perfect place to come to, but if you are not a dwarf, be prepared. An amazing fact about the pyramids is that they are 4,500 years old, meaning we are closer to Jesus' time than Jesus was to the pyramids. So that was an experience. I mean, it was boiling hot in there. At the start it wasn't, but as soon as you go up into the middle where that tomb is, it was boiling. Everybody queues behind me, and from the outside it doesn't look like it's too packed, but trust me, when you go inside it's packed. And if you are older or you have some kind of disability, I would definitely consider that before you go in, or actually do a little bit of research on it, because in reality there are a lot of old people in there struggling, and tall people like myself struggling as well. It was literally 4 foot at points. Cool experience. Now we're gonna go check out this pyramid, get some facts and information on it, and the other pyramid, and I think we're gonna go to the Sphinx, but I'll find out about that. So far, I was really impressed with the sheer size of the pyramids, not too impressed by the interior, but I was excited to go and see the Sphinx and the 3 pyramids from a distance. They were beautiful and they still had their limestone cover on the top, and it represents how they used to look. It was a beautiful ride. We actually got to see Giza, the old town, which is a bit newer now, and there is just so much history and so much to see. And even these camels in the distance in the sand. How many times in your life are you going to see a view like that and have a coffee in front of 3 ancient pyramids older than anything we know? Usually I go on holiday for nature, but this was just spectacular and it felt surreal. So originally I thought there were 2 pyramids
but there are 3 main pyramids. Now, they were built for specific reasons, and I thought wrongly that Tutankhamun was buried in one of these pyramids, but Tutankhamun has absolutely no attachment to these pyramids at all. In fact, it was a king who buried his sons, and those 3 pyramids are for those sons, and the tombs are inside. That's what we saw earlier. Obviously I corrected my mistake, but yeah, that's what the real reason they are here for. Like many touristy areas, you need to bring card or cash to pay to use the toilet. So our tour guide told us that each singular block took 100,000 people to get it together. And on top of that, the lowest weight block, so the lowest block in weight was literally 2 tons, and the highest was 15 tons in weight. And it took 100,000 people to build just one. Now, if you've seen Joe Rogan, if you've seen many podcast shows, they talk about how they actually came about, how the pyramids came about. And the thing is, nobody technically knows, but everybody here is confident, and in reality, people do know, they just don't know the exact methods. Many people believe they shifted the weight left to right in order to stop friction so they could put the blocks together. But it's absolutely incredible to see this in person. You've seen it many times on pictures, you've seen it many times on videos, so it is just cool to see these 3. And we are going to head to the Sphinx. A long time ago, the theology in Egypt was very similar to Greek mythology. It was essentially the same thing. Then Christianity came over, and Christianity was the main religion in Egypt for a long time, but now it's about 10 to 15% of the population, with the majority being Islamic. But the reason the Sphinx actually lost its nose is because when Islam took over, they tried to take it off the Sphinx, and they also tried to take down these pyramids, but they realized it was too much effort and too much weight. But yeah, pretty incredible site, and it's got so much history. So many different people, cultures, religions have come here, have seen these pyramids, and have literally lived amongst these 4,500-year-old buildings. It's incredible. The reason the Islamic people tried to take the nose off is because they believed it represented Christian values or religious values that didn't support their own beliefs, so they thought they had to destroy it, but it was literally too much effort. Also, you got a bunch of these guys walking around, cheeky little stray dogs. You do not need to be into ancient history to appreciate and enjoy these beautiful sites. It literally is astonishing to anybody, and it lived up to my expectations fully. You can also get this hop on, hop off bus for tourists, and it will take you down to the Sphinx. And this was an incredible sight to see as well. It is truly incredible how they put these blocks together. Nobody really knows. Finally, the Sphinx. That's so cool. And by the way, it's not a normal cat, it's a lion. So this is the Sphinx's backside, and it's pretty cool. I've got to say, it's not as big as I thought it would be, but it is a pretty incredible sight to see. And as I was explaining earlier, you can see how it's chipped in many locations, including the nose. Now, the reason that the Islamic people could actually get the nose off is because gravity was working against it, because it was off a ledge. So the other parts, like this part and that part, they couldn't actually take off. But the nose was the easiest because it was the loosest, and that's all they could take off. They started with that and then realized they couldn't take the rest of it off. So yeah, it's pretty incredible history, and that's been standing for a very, very long time. They also have nearby the workers' graves and the workers' tombs, and there's also the famous thing of judgment, where you weigh the heart and the feather to see if you go to heaven or hell. One thing that was interesting to me was that you were not allowed in the Sphinx or the other pyramids, and I really had a lot of questions to why. There was a lot of suspicious stuff about these areas and these historic sites, but we just have a lot of unanswered questions, and they won't give you the answers. Only people who are going into them and doing research will find out. There's also a lot of police watching and listening to what you're doing, so that raises suspicions as well. But regardless, it was cool to be in this environment, to see these ancient sites that are so historic and old, the oldest sites I've ever seen, and it was an amazing trip. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit post notifications so you never miss a travel video, as we've got videos coming out of so many different countries with pre-recorded content, with content that is yet to come out, and many trips in future. Please stay tuned, and I'll see you next time.